Welcome to Backyard Family Fun, the podcast from Pride Pools, Spas, and Leisure Products. In Claxton and Savannah, Georgia, celebrating 50 years serving our community, this family-owned business has spent decades helping create memories that last a lifetime. Whether you're a pool owner, a spa lover, or just looking to turn your outdoor space into a true retreat, we've got you covered right here on the Backyard Family Fun podcast. And as a crazy awesome deal for our Backyard Family Fun podcast fans, you get 10% off anything inside either location in Claxton and Savannah, excluding pools, hot tubs, or saunas when you mention the podcast. That's all you have to do. Go and visit the Claxton or Savannah Pride pools, mention the podcast, and get 10% off. Now that's a reason to celebrate. Welcome back to Backyard Family Fun. We are here at Pride Pool Spas and Leisure Products, and we're in the Savannah location for this episode. Very excited that our next batch of episodes are going to be out at the Claxton location. Either location, you can find everything you want and need when it comes to pools and spas and all the accessories that go along with it. Alex Smith is on this episode with me today, and Alex, welcome back. Good to see you.
Man, it is great to be back, Dee.
It's nice. It's so nice to sit down and talk to you. You always give me so many things to think about and so many things that now I have like this, my want list gets bigger and bigger every time we sit down and have a conversation, for sure. This episode, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about automatic cleaners. And, I think one of the first things that I want to invite people to do is, especially when you walk in here to the Savannah location, right when you walk in the door, over on your left side, there is a whole section dedicated to pool care. It's called the Pool Care Center. And that's one of the places where you can really get a little lost in the store for a few minutes. And
You can, absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that section and what's
Sure,
over there before we kind of get going.
So when it comes to pool care, and I know earlier there was some discussion about, process of new installations of in-ground pools. And I've said this, and I'll continue to say this all the time, is, a pool's an investment. But it should be fun. It should not be work. And, when you're outside swimming and enjoying being around the pool, jumping in the pool, whatever it might be, you want it to be fun, enjoyable, not work. The last thing you want to do is get out there and, do the brushing and do all the vacuuming and, the pool care. Sometimes that sounds like work. No, it shouldn't be work.
That's right.
It should not be work. Sure, there's some basic maintenance you have to do for a pool, but we believe automatic is good. So anything automatic makes your life easier. So we have automatic pool cleaners, and there's different types of automatic cleaners, and
Will you walk me through the different types?
Sure,
yeah,
I can. You got what they call suction side cleaners that's pulled through the skimmer or suction line. And then you have a pressure side cleaner, which you need a booster pump for. And then you have a robotic cleaner. And it could be a cordless, or it could be, with a cord, but it's a robotic cleaner where those are very popular when it comes to older pools that does not have a cleaner. And the robotic cleaner can be adapted to any in-ground pool. And when I say any, it's the tight pool, meaning like vinyl, fiberglass, or concrete. So you put the cleaner in and you plug it in. You actually plug it into a receptacle, and it goes to a transformer or power center, which is 12 volt. So it's only 12 volt that powers through the cord, and it does its job. And it's got a little basket, a filter on it, and it's like its own filter system that runs around the bottom of the pool. And that is very easy, automatic, fun care.
Oh, for sure.
Who wants to work at it? And that's so pressure side cleaners, suction side cleaners, and robotic. Those are your three style cleaners. And we put the pressure side cleaners on all of our in-ground pools. Some are robotic cleaners that we put on our above-ground pools. But every pool that we install or sell comes with an automatic cleaner. So, of course, everything else is also automatic. The sanitation system, lighting, all that stuff, of course, is through an app. But you can control the cleaner through the app. And you got schedules you can set up and, let it run. And that's where we come in to help you with that. We help you with how often should I run it and when do I run it and, which cleaner is right for what pool you have.
Right.
So someone walks in the door, and so that's our job to ask the questions, who, what, where, when, and how when it comes to the customer. And if we did not install the pool, that's okay. That is even better, meaning that we are here to, make your water crystal blue water.
Yeah.
And that makes it where you want to jump in. And the cleaner is part of that. It helps you, when it's 105-degree heat, and you're out there pushing the pole and you're vacuuming. It's like, man, this is for the birds. Who wants to do that?
This is too much. No, thank you.
I don't want that.
I'm good.
That's right. Yeah, automatic cleaner is,
That's
we
the
have
way
that,
to go.
and we
Yeah,
have that.
That's the way to go. I'd love to know a little bit, because I'm thinking about let's say I have a pool, I've had it for a while, and now I'm like, okay, I want an automatic cleaner. I'm doing it. I'm going into the automatic cleaner section because I'm tired of trying to do this, myself and get down in there and this, that, and the other. How do I determine which is the best cleaner for the type of pool that I have? And, especially I'm thinking about like the last time I saw a friend of mine in her pool, she had one of the corded robotic cleaners. And, so how do you know that's the kind for my pool specifically?
Great questions. So when it comes to any automatic cleaner, and you were asking great questions, that's our job, is to ask you what particular pool you have. So the first thing we're going to ask you is it above ground or is it an in-ground pool? And that right there, that one answer that you give us determines what cleaner we start showing you. And so even though you have robotic and suction and pressure side cleaners, if you say an above ground pool, then we'll go to that section and show you those cleaners that are best for your pool. You may have like a bottom. It could be a flat bottom, or it may be like, a recessed pool that's deeper, like they have a deeper on the deep end. And so there's a cleaner. Not all cleaners will adapt to that above ground pool.
Ah, okay.
So that's our job, to figure that out and determine, how big your pool is, the shape of it. And just because it's an above ground don't necessarily mean it's a flat bottom pool. So a lot of times we keep all that on file. And if you've been in here and purchased anything from us, we would already have that usually. And of course, if we've been out there, we would have images on file for the type pool. So we would just find out your name and address and determine right from the get-go, and we can answer the question for you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about going through all those. Even those questions, sometimes you might feel like you're getting interrogated or something. But,
but it's a good interrogation.
It's interrogation of a good way.
That's
meaning
right.
that we want to help you determine what's best to make your life easier.
Well, I'm glad you said that because honestly, I fully agree. I'm just trying to think about like how important that conversation is, because it's probably not a good idea for me to just go on Google or online somewhere and try to purchase an automatic cleaner without having all that information.
That's right.
Because you could get the wrong
You
wouldn't
can.
fit for your needs in your pool.
You can. And we've had a lot of customers do that. Sometimes they're not real sure, they start getting some prices and they find out that we'll use a brand. A lot of people are aware, like the cleaner name, like Polaris. That's a very known brand when it comes to cleaners. And we actually use that cleaner for our in-ground installations. But there's so many cleaners under that brand. And they have all types of cleaners. What I said earlier, they got the suction and pressure and robotic cleaners. They have all those. So a lot of times, a customer may be pricing cleaners and they can go online, like you said, and they say, oh, that's a lot less. And And it is, and it could be, but when it arrives, it's not the correct cleaner.
Yeah.
And when you take it out the box and it says, oh, it's only for above ground or flat bottom pools, or it's, for round pools. So that has a lot to do with when you're purchasing the cleaner, because you may buy cleaner and you have a booster pump on your filtration equipment, and it requires a certain model for that system.
Yeah.
But you go buy the wrong cleaner, and that happens all the time. So that was a great scenario, great question, because that happens a lot. And pool cleaners is such a broad, when it comes to getting the right one, it's a very broad subject
Yeah.
on that. So
Absolutely. When you're talking about like suction side and pressure side, explain to me what that looks like in the pool. Like, I mean, do they look very different? How different are they? And what does that look like?
they certainly are a little bit different looking. A lot of the cleaners have a different style hose. So, and I can walk up to a pool, and I guess just because I've seen enough of them, I could tell what type of cleaner it'll be just by looking at it in the water. But you got a lot of them that will connect to the side of the pool wall. So you kind of right there, maybe next to the skimmer. If we've installed your pool, the connection for the cleaner hose will be close to the skimmer. So it'll be on the side wall, and it's an adapter that you just stick into the wall and twist it, and that's it. That's it. That's just connecting it. But the installation coming out of the box, assembly, a little bit different. It requires some more. But an in-ground pressure side cleaner requires a little bit more to operate. And what I mean by that is pressure side means it needs water pressure. And that being said, it requires a booster pump. So it's a separate pump that sits next to the filter system. So you have a filter, you have the filter pump. So the booster pump for the pressure side cleaner will be right next to it.
Okay.
And so it's a separate line that runs back to the pool, and it's got a connection on the side of the wall. So it makes it easier to service and to get it out of the pool if you need to take it out. But the thing about that is cleaners. Do you leave it in? Do you take it out?
Right.
Of course, we went through the scenarios of closing a pool, covering a pool, winterizing a pool,
Yeah.
went through all that.
Yeah.
And, there's different levels for that. So if you're going to cover the pool and not winterize it, leave the cleaner in the water. Because what that does is it keeps everything kind of lubricated. It keeps everything from drying out, prevents, critters or anything getting into the unit. Because when you take it out, you got to store it.
Yeah.
And if you store it someplace, you got to put it in the right place. You got to put it where nothing can really get into it or no one can step on it. And sometimes that don't always the case.
Right.
So, in January and February, you're not thinking about, pool a lot of times, even though it don't get that hot here. But you may set it someplace, and then you walk through the garage and you hear a crunch, and it's like, oh, what was that?
Right.
I don't know. But we don't want to have the cleaner sitting in the floor in the garage.
No.
It needs to stay in the pool.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, leaving it in the pool, people don't, there's different opinions with that. But, being around this so much in my lifetime, I kind of know what works and what's beneficial. And it's simple and it's easy. If you take care of your water
Yeah.
and you keep the water balanced,
Right.
which you're supposed to, then what's the problem? Why not leave it in the water? So that's the place where it goes anyhow.
Yeah.
And why not just leave it there? And so all cleaners are really designed to just stay in the pool and just keep the water chemically balanced, and you won't have any issues with the unit because all of them are plastic. And so like anything else, it wears and tears. And so of course, every cleaner, you can set up schedules as well. So, but that's the pressure side cleaner. It requires a booster pump, and it's very evident to see the separate pump next to the filter pump, and that's a good indication that it's a pressure side cleaner system. And so it's and there's different manufacturers make those.
Right.
But Polaris is probably the the better brand, and of course we sell that, or we put that on all of our installations, and we also sell it over the counter here in the retail in Claxon and Savannah. They got rebates also going on. So manufacturer rebates, anytime you could, purchase a cleaner, you get that manufacturer rebate in the mail. That's always nice to get money back.
That's always
You know,
great.
man, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
love
awesome.
that.
And all our cleaners have a rebate. So if you come into Savannah location or Claxon location, we have a little POP thing that tells you what manufacturer is giving what rebate back. And hey, it's we're an authorized service center for everything we sell, and by being an authorized service center, when you purchase the unit from us, it doesn't matter what unit, if it's a suction, pressure, robotic, all of the cleaners that we sell, you get extended warranty. That's kind of a
Nice.
big deal.
Yeah, it is.
You may pay just a little bit more for the unit here, but to me, that's the price for service. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
some people don't think what kind of value can you put on warranty? And when it breaks, or you need a part, or something that you ordered off Google, the internet, and you cannot find that part because maybe a tariff applied to it or something,
Right. Yeah, right.
but it becomes like obsolete all of a sudden, like
Sure.
overnight. But with us, you can get the part. We can order it, or we have it in stock. More than likely, we have it in stock. So everything that we sell, you get extended warranty, and you get service after the sale.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yep,
Yeah, I mean,
yep.
I think about like, my grandfather used to say, "Hey, the only time people regretted getting that warranty was when they didn't get the warranty."
That's a good point.
So,
That's a
I
good point.
mean,
That's exactly right.
because when you think about some of the pumps and the cleaners and the things that we've got going on that are running for
Mm-hmm.
a certain amount of time, and, you think about like, okay, if something goes wrong, all of a sudden, what am I going to do in that scenario?
That's right.
And how much is that going to cost me to then
Good
try
point.
to, mimic the product or that sort of thing? It could be very costly.
It could very much be costly, and we've seen that happen more often than not. The homeowner will purchase again off the internet. I hate to bring that up too much, but that's the fact. That's
Yeah,
what's the world we live in
it
today.
is. Yeah.
And so they'll call and want to know if we repair XYZ cleaner, and we may or may not. But if we do, we'll tell them, sure, bring it in, and we'll give it a diagnosis and determine what it might need. But not all the time it turns out like that. More than not, a customer may call and then they'll give us a name, and then we'll say, no, we don't service that.
Yeah.
And now you're calling around, like you said earlier about your dad. What kind of value do you put on warranty? And some people purchase the extended warranty. You don't have to do that with us. It automatically comes with the product. So
Yeah.
you get that extended warranty because of our service that we offer and of our time. We've been in the business for so long, and we've developed such a great rapport with our manufacturers that they help us. So they have our back, so we got the consumer's back.
Yeah.
And if you're a customer and you buy product from us, we're going to stand behind that. And that's what it's all about. To me, it's, I don't mind paying a little extra if I know that, listen, all I got to do is just call, come in, bring it back, whatever it might be. I don't want to go through a hassle. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to be, well, you have to call such and such, and you got to go here or go there, fill out this paperwork.
Yeah.
No, I bought it from y'all. Can I just bring it back?
Right.
Absolutely. Just bring it back.
Yeah.
And maybe we can solve it right then, or if not, we can resolve it.
Yeah.
And that makes. And buddy, this time of year when you've got parties going on the weekends, and
Right.
they want that cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want it back
You
pretty
don't
quick.
want any of that going
right.
sideways. No doubt
Exactly.
about it.
Exactly.
Let me ask you about like other sizes. I'm thinking about like smaller pools, and obviously we talked a little bit about above ground, but like what about the swim spa and the spa? Are there any sort of automatic cleaners we can look at for that at all?
So for the swim spa, there is we got sanitation systems for that, but we do have some cleaning devices. It's automatic, not necessarily because of the size of the unit
Right.
and the plumbing, the hydraulics, the jet system, and the filter system. We really don't need any type of automatic cleaning system, but we do have certain devices that you can purchase, and it makes it a lot easier. So if you need to get some things at the bottom of the footwell, like some sand or maybe some small debris that gets in there from having the cover open while you're using it, it makes it so much easier. So we got like electric little leaf bag things that you can, it's battery operated. So you just kind of stick the pole down there and push it around and it automatically vacuums it up. And we got a lot of devices like that. We just got in some really cool devices that there's some people out there may have heard. It's called a leaf eater. And this is in the cleaning, talking about the cleaning devices and automatic cleaners and stuff. We, if you have a heavy debris pool and like leaves galore, like you could have a tree, far away or close by. Either way, the leaves are getting into the pool.
Yeah.
And it's a high maintenance. We call that a higher maintenance pool, meaning that you're always dipping the leaves off. The skimmer is always full of leaves.
That's right.
And
that's a headache right there.
Yes, it can be a headache. But see, we don't want headaches.
That's right.
We don't want anyone to have headache.
No.
We want to be certain that we have the cure for the headache, and that is the automatic cleaner.
That's right. Yeah.
But this device is called it's a leaf vac, but it's battery operated.
Okay.
Pretty cool. And it really is amazing. It's a contraption where you hook the extension pole, the telescopic pole you use for vacuuming, and or put your net to or your brush. It's the same pole, and you snap this device on and stick it in the water, and it won't come on unless it's underwater. So it saves the battery life, and it's just what you said earlier. For a smaller, like above ground pool or a swim spa, it doesn't require a lot of cleaning at all that much. That is ideal for that. And you just move that thing around, and it automatically vacuums up the debris.
Love it.
It's incredible how that thing works, and it's battery operated.
Yeah.
So you don't hook a garden hose to it. The other ones, called the leaf eater or the leaf vac, you put the pole with it, but you have to attach a garden hose.
Okay.
And the garden hose creates like a suction, like a venturi,
Yeah.
and it puts everything up in this leaf bag about that tall. And nobody couldn't see that, could they? Because I said,
Yeah.
It's about 2 feet.
Okay, yeah.
So
About
it's a
from
bag.
here to here.
That's right. That's right. About that tall. And the taller, the more leagues you can get. So that little contraption is, man, people have been buying those because it's lightweight and the battery life is incredible. And it will last, I forgot, a few hours. So
Nice.
it makes it, again, should be easy, not a hassle to clean the pool. So that's another example of cleaning the pool. It's semi-automatic.
Yeah.
I guess it's not completely automatic, but we'll call it like a semi-automatic device. And so that's the latest thing we've gotten to come in. We got some other things as well too, but you got to come in and look at it.
Yeah.
But it's along the automatic cleaning units is what we have. We got it in last year. It's cordless, and it's we have people coming by a lot of times to sell us new product, and this representative came in, and we already buy other products from this manufacturer, but he always lets us try it out. So he's got like a try me program. Mm-hmm. So he'll give it to a few of us that have pools, and so we're the R&D, right? So we're the ones out there. Well, I think it's neat, but before we start talking price and quantity and all that stuff, we got to try it first.
Absolutely.
We got to try it.
That's right.
So that's with everything that we do, Dee.
Yeah.
That's the culture of our company, is just because that they say it works, don't necessarily mean it works, right?
Yeah.
So we have to test it ourselves. So we put it on, a lot of our staff have pools, in ground and above ground. So we're able to try it out. So let us bring it in. And so anybody out there that's got some product they want to sell us, we're trying it first.
That's right.
And really and truly, this is a really cool automatic cordless cleaner. It's unique. It's small, lightweight. It'll run for about an hour and a half.
And it's battery operated?
And it's battery
Okay.
operated. And, it doesn't take but a few hours to charge it. But, it's really, really neat because it'll come right back to where it started. It's got a little device that you can fish it out of the pool with, and it comes right back to where it started. It's smart. It's a smart unit. And most of all, it is inexpensive.
Oh, even
And
better.
that's even better.
Even
It
better.
really, got a great price point.
Yeah.
I mean, we got cleaners, $1,800, and we got them all the way down to, $400.
Yeah.
So, and some lower. But this is a cordless battery operated cleaner, and it's really amazing to try out. We're actually offering a small rebate going on right now through Pride Pool. So if you purchase that, you'll get a rebate. And it's
Even
pretty
better,
cool.
yeah.
It is. That's right. So
Even better.
anytime you spend money and you get money back, that's a win-win.
That's a win-win all the way around.
It is. It is.
I was also thinking too about, and not just one particular automatic cleaner, but have you found that there are certain styles of automatic cleaners that maybe do better than others, or is it just based on the particular one you need for your particular pool? Because, I'm thinking about like, oh, maybe I get this one and I find that it really missed a lot of stuff, or, you know what I mean?
I do. So that's another good question. So if if you got a certain shape or style pool, that has everything to do with it. So if you got an in-ground fiberglass pool, not every in-ground cleaner works with it. An in-ground vinyl pool, not every cleaner works. Now, it may work, but is it at the optimal level?
Exactly.
And that's where we come in. So we can help with that. We can narrow it down and say, listen, from our experience, this cleaner will work better than that cleaner because based off your information you just gave me, you have a vinyl pool, you have a deep end, it's an 8-foot depth. So it's got a big slope to climb to the shallow end.
Right.
So you want to be certain that you got you a good cleaner and a battery life that will last if you do a cordless. If not, if you want to do the robotic with the cord is okay too, or the pressure side, whichever cleaner will work for that application. That's where we come in and help you. So a large pool with a deep end, we're going to recommend probably a pressure side cleaner.
Right.
If you don't already have a booster pump, then you can install that. You can retrofit that. If you don't want to go that route, there are certain robotic cleaners that work for a large 8-foot depth pool because of the slope, and you just need more power. You don't want the battery to give out very quick. You want something that's going to last. The robotic cleaners, the good thing about those is you set a schedule, but it will not continue to run all the time, every day. So most, if not all, robotic cleaners after the 7th day shuts off.
Ah, okay.
So it's designed to, you go, check me, come out here and look at me, make sure I'm still here, make sure that I don't need to be cleaned or the basket, make sure everything's working. So they're designed to do that. It requires the homeowner to come out, reset it, and just check it because, the last thing you want to do is turn it on and never, go look at it. You leave it in the water. If you're not swimming, just leave it in the water. But there's different levels of programming to do that with. You can have it running every day, every other day, or every other day, every third day.
Right.
So, but that, all depends on the maintenance of the pool, the bather load, how often is it used. So that's where we come in again as experts to ask you all these questions to be certain that you got the right cleaner, because the last thing you want to do is work. Who wants to go out there and sweat
That's right.
and work
That's right.
in this beautiful southeast Georgia heat?
That's right. No one.
That's right.
I've yet to meet
jump
someone who volunteered for that.
Yeah, all right. You just want to jump in. That's the thing.
That's exactly right. And I would think too that we shouldn't be scared to say, well, we've got a certain shape of a pool, so we can't have an automatic cleaner because it's an odd shape or something like that, right? Because it really is all about coming in and saying, here's what I've got going on. And you're right, too. How many people come in, how often? If I only have people jumping in the pool once, twice a week, we're going to be doing something different
That's right.
in the cleaning department
That's correct.
than we would if we had, tons of people in there every day.
Good point. The last thing you want is, there's a quick little story about a cleaner, and it was late one evening. Night swimming I love to do that because it's, the water's warm and it's not hot outside.
Right.
And it's very refreshing to get in that water. And then when you get out, it's cooler, and it's a great time to go swimming, especially in the summertime. So so we had a situation where someone was in the pool, and it was dark, and the person was in the shallow end, standing on the shallow end, and another person was up on the deck, and they're talking to one another and having a conversation. And the next thing I knew is the person that was in the pool did a vertical leap out onto the deck because the automatic cleaner came on and started running. Now, for some people that's funny, and it was hilarious,
Funny and scary.
And scary
Would have
at the same
scared
time.
me, but laughed
That's
after.
right. That's
Yes,
right.
of course.
It's all in good laughter and fun. It was not to hurt no one. It was just so. And all it did is the scheduling. So I was leading up to something about programming and scheduling for the cleaners,
Yeah.
like you asked earlier.
Yeah.
So when you schedule your cleaner, whether it's schedule robotic or pressure side, schedule it where you're not going to be in the pool.
That's right.
If you're going to be swimming at a certain time of the night, be sure it comes on like past that time.
I keep seeing that person leap up out of
that was me actually.
That's even better.
I didn't know I could do that, and it was an amazing acrobatic thing that I did.
How high did you get up out of that water?
It was an amazing. It was an awful feeling, but an amazing act.
That's right.
So, but it was something I learned not to do is schedule the cleaner while you're swimming.
Oh man! But I bet you got a good score for your acrobat.
And I was not going for that, but it turned out to be that way.
I absolutely love it. Well, of course, any questions you have about pool cleaners, about automatic cleaners, about any of these devices we've been talking about, which I think sounds so cool, make sure you either click the link in the show notes of this episode or stop by, even better, stop by and have a nice long conversation with the pool acrobat himself and find out how you can get the best product for your pool, because we do want to make it easy breezy for
That's right.
everybody.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, that visual is never going to leave my mind.
I
now,
know.
so just so you know.
It was something that I'll never forget. And we're talking about cleaners. I had to tell that story because if I left that out, then I wouldn't be able to understand, or maybe customers couldn't picture understanding. So, if you're gonna program your automatic pool cleaner, get it come on 3:00 in the morning.
That's right.
Or, if you're swimming at that time, come on earlier.
Yeah,
2 hours
4
sooner.
o'clock in the morning.
Or later.
Whatever time. Whatever time Alex is not going to be in the pool, that's the time we're going to schedule it.
That's right.
For sure.
That is something that, well, again, if it all depends on the homeowner and the type cleaner that you have, but pressure side cleaners is something that you can do anytime, any day, 7 days a week, 24 hours with our cleaning system.
Mm-hmm.
The robotics, not so much.
Yeah.
You can do that with, but it's the best cleaner to retrofit any pool for in-ground or above ground. I've always found out that's the best cleaner. So, and a lot of suction side cleaners are good for your smaller in-ground or above ground, and they're inexpensive. The suction side cleaners are. So I always like to get that out there because sometimes they're comparing on the websites, and that's a lot less, cost for that cleaner, but it's suction side. And so everything that you vacuuming up goes through the skimmer.
Right.
So it's kind of, you only got so much of an area in your basket for that suction side cleaner to bring in.
Right.
And before it becomes, an issue for maintenance. So you don't want it to cause harm to the cleaner. And your skimmer is also used for skimming. So you have to manually put it into the skimmer
Right.
for it to operate. But again, it's a price point, but it works. It's a great cleaner. But that's your three main cleaners really right there.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Great information as always, Alex. And when you've got questions, make sure you stop by and look for Alex. He might recreate that Acrobat for you right here in the showroom.
I'll attempt it maybe.
Who knows? Alex, always a good time to talk to you. Thank you.
Absolutely, Dee. Great to be here.
Let the celebrations continue. The team at Pride Pools is excited to give you a huge anniversary special. Actually, 3 of them. To celebrate 50 years all year long, you can get up to $10,000 in savings on 3 anniversary fiberglass pools. There are 3 sizes to choose from: the backyard size, the family size, and the fun size. How cool is that? So stop by the Claxton or Savannah locations of Pride Pools or go to pridepools.com for more information. Thanks for listening. Come by and meet your local pool and spa experts in Claxton on Highway 280 West or in Savannah on Gateway Boulevard South, or go to pridepools.com. If you love backyard family fun as much as we do, be sure to give us a rating and review and subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. And if you have a question or topic you'd love for us to cover, drop us an email, info@pridepools.com, or tap the links for Facebook or Instagram in the show notes of this episode. We'd love to hear from you. Now let's go make a splash and have some backyard family fun.
Pride Pools, Spas and Leisure.